Hey guys, how's it going? Okay. Shrink this down. What's going on? Move this out of the picture. All right. Can you tell me if you can hear music, please? Because I have music, but I'm not piping it to the desktop or to the stream. So just so I have music, but you guys don't hear it. All right. Hey, what's going on? All right. No music? Awesome. Good, thank you. All right. Let's see. So, this is kind of where we left off last time. I am, I shrunk the head a bit between sessions just because his head was ginormous. I don't know if you can remember last time. Hello! How's it going? Welcome to the stream. So, when I'm building characters, I really like to build from the inside out, meaning like body first, then the clothes that are closest to his skin, and then outwards. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing today. I might start like I started the Pirate Girl and start with the boots, and then work, with the pants and then the chaps on the top, stuff like that, and just kind of build up from there. So, yeah, let's get started doing that. So how's everybody doing? It's been a little bit. Let's see. Hey. Sup, Kushwa? Hello, Harry Mandibles. How's it going, man? Ben, awesome. That's great to hear. What? Calibrate? What kind of printer did you get? That's super cool, man. Okay. Alright, I'm going to start with, I think I am going to start with his boots. Sorry if you can hear my kids in the background being a little ratty. CR10, oh that's right, very cool. Sounds fun, man. Oh, fun. Sea Dragon sculpt. Nice. Alright, I'm just looking at the silhouette here. And I think I'm going to duplicate this and then start to hack it up to become a boot. Solo it. Go about mid-calf here. Whoop. Let's do a lasso. I think I am just going to cut it right off. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to cool down here in Utah, that's for sure. I think it was like 36, 38 degrees today, something like that. It was not warm. That's Fahrenheit. What maneuver did I use? The tuck and roll. What I did was, as long as you have your lasso selected right here, if you hold down Control plus Shift, you can click on any of these lines like this, and make it disappear. See that? And that's essentially what I did, is just hid that loop and then delete hidden. Yeah, it's comes in super handy. Like, that looks like a spiral. That's pretty cool. Yeah, sometimes it spirals, but that's an easy way to see if it did spiral or not, if you do that. Yep. ZBrush gem. See, it's spiraling, or, well, it's not really spiraling, it's going down and around and coming back up. But you can use that a lot. Okay. So, I'm going to start just checking out these boots and imagining what they look like underneath, and then start to build them up. So I want to start to shape this toe and make it look more like a boot than just a sock. That's what I want to do. You guys hear me okay? Is the mic sounding okay tonight? I'm still working on a different mic solution. I haven't found one that I like quite yet. So I'm still using my old standby, which works great. But you can still hear, like, it has a wire, so you guys can hear that when I do that. Yeah, so I'm trying to get something where I don't have to wear headphones, or and I got this mic right here. I don't think you can see it, but anyway, I'm trying to work out a better solution, and hopefully soon. Right. Sorry, I'm just trying to see. Okay, no worries. Let's go. Let's see. Did you guys watch Blair Armitage when she streamed the other day? It was pretty good. I like Blair a lot. I met her at the ZBrush Summit. She does some amazing stuff. What's up, Lance? How's it going, man? Once again, welcome to the stream. Yes, I will model the dinosaur. And again, if you guys weren't here last stream, this concept was done by Johannes Helgeson, and he drew this concept up for me to model, and he's a Western guy that rides a dinosaur instead of a horse. I'm super excited. I can show you really quickly what the finished thing looks like. Here we go. Let's see. Turn the opacity up so you can see it. So this is what I'm making right here. Really cool. I'm trying to figure out what this shirt, it looks like a vest with some buttons underneath, and then a collared shirt underneath that. So it's like there's varying degrees of layers happening right here in this kind of Crocodile Dundee tooth necklace thing, and a bolo. You know, he's got all this stuff going on, but it's super cool. Yeah, you know, I think I think her microphone was having some troubles. What's going on, everybody? 4 in the morning. Oh my goodness. But yes, I will eventually model this dinosaur. It's fantastic. Let's see. So let's put this away. Bring this back. Whoa, where'd it go? I scaled it. I scaled it into a different dimension, apparently. Okay. Turn the opacity back down. You guys can't hear any music, I hope. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Okay. I'm just going to pull up some cowboy boot reference really quick. have a certain style in mind. I have some saved. I'm just pulling them up really quick. They never show boots from the front. It's always like 3/4. All right. All right. Brave Star. What's up, Rob? How's it going, man? Brave Star. Man, that takes me back. Jim West. Oh man. That's hilarious. I have had boots in the past, but I do not have any right now. Let's see. I really want this square toe. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to pinch that. Let's get a different material happening on here so we can actually see what we're doing. There we go. I'm doing great. Doing great, doing great. So, in my, I'm actually doing really great. I'm super happy because I just made, or I just did a Halloween character modeling challenge inside my course for my students, and my students over delivered. They just did phenomenal work. Phenomenal work. I got to show you guys really quick because it's awesome, and I got to show them off because they're great. Let's see. Let me just pull this up. Okay. You get to see my Facebook for a second. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So, check out these submissions. Look at that. Holy cow. And then, this one, it's going to show you a couple. These, really cool. Look at this. Whoa. Hold on, it's pretty big. Is that awesome? So good. So I hope my students are posting these elsewhere so you guys can see them. But they're just fantastic. Fantastic. This one is great. Look at those hands. And the lighting, just awesome. So good. There's another one. Sorry, I'm just gonna, these are all done in ZBrush, done by Carlos Lee. So good. And he did 2. Overachieving Carlos did 2. This is great. I couldn't even tell this was the 3D render unless you really look at it. It's amazing. So, just great. Some work in progress ones. Yep, this is kind of his own design. Snow White, kind of a. So anyway, I'm nothing but pleased with those. How that turned out, really good. Really good, really good. Is the model currently Dynamesh? No, it's not. I typically don't stay in Dynamesh for very long. The only time I use Dynamesh is to combine objects together. So I'll combine all my primitives together, and then I will Z-remesh it after that and get it low again, and then I'll turn on dynamic subdivision. You can see it's turned on right here, and it just makes a more workable surface. It's just easier to move all this stuff around. So it's a good question though. So have I seen the new Wacom Pro Pen 3D? I have not. So is it just a pen you can use with a like a tablet like this? Or what is it? What's it meant for? Or is it a whole different thing? That sounds awesome though. I'm willing to try anything new. It is a... okay. I'll have to look into that, thanks. That's cool. So what's different about it, can you say? Oh, it's got a third button. Like in here? That's cool. Oh, for 3D navigation. Interesting. That's cool. Okay. Now that I have this, I'm going to... whoa, my smooth is too hot. Turn that down. Now that I have this, I'm going to draw the soul on there. And I just do that with the Topology Brush. So let's just get this lined up. That's really cool. I gotta check that out. And I can use the Topology Brush on this because there aren't any subdivision levels. Let's see. And I usually like to kind of plan my topology out, so you know I can see the cut from the heel to the front part. I want to make sure I have a line where that cut is going to be, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really care about. Oh, it's compatible with the Mobile Studio Pro. That's cool. I'm going to have to check it out. Let's see. Have to visualize this here. Yeah, the design is pretty detailed. Let's see. I need to go like this. And then I'll just pull the faces around, match them up to the edges. I don't have to be super precise, just close enough that I can start moving them around. Hey, what's up, Gary Games? Problems. It's on my wish list. It's on my Christmas wish list. All right. Let's see. So I haven't got it yet, but I want it. You guys should check that Overwatch, the Art of Overwatch book out on Amazon. It's so good. That team does such a fantastic job with those characters. And if you haven't seen the new Reinhardt cinematic, you should go check that out as well. Hey, what's up, Jay Morvan? How's it going? Glad you could join us. Okay, so this will be the heel separation line, but I'll move it around a little bit. I put it in my... yeah, I did order it, but it's... I'm not going to like open it and check it out until Christmas, so that's kind of my thing. Okay, so we have that. Looks good. I'm going to add some I'm not going to add thickness to it yet. I want to keep it flat. I'm not going to add, because if you add thickness, then it becomes more difficult to manipulate. So I like to keep it a single-sided mesh for a while. And how you do that is you turn your draw size down to 1, and then tap on the surface, and then it becomes a single-sided surface. But it's in the same subtool as the rest of the boot, and I want it in a different subtool. So what I'm going to do is, there we go. I'm just going to put these in their own subtool. By saying split hidden. Hide the body. So we're just working on the boots. Yeah, Christmas. Now we can come in here and turn off the subdivision levels. What's up, Sumerian? How's it going, man? I'm getting you love. Nothing but love. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Busy is good. Keeps you out of trouble. So with shoe soles, if you notice on shoes, they tuck under, like the leather goes underneath, and then they sew it to the sole, and then the sole is typically sticks out from underneath the shoe a little bit. So what I like to do is just start pulling the sole out, so I can start getting that shelf, that ledge. One by one, little by little. Okay, then I'll just keep tweaking it and tweaking it as I go. Okay. Okay, where is this heel gonna come off? I'm trying to think if it's gonna be the 3 or the 4. Like 1, 2, 3 lines, or the 4th line. I think in 3, like right here. Okay, let's see. Going to now we can get into the Zmodeler brush and start to extrude these guys out. But I want to, I just want to polygroup the heel first. So let's make this single poly. There we go. Solo it. Okay, now we have 2 different groups. And then I want to use I can either use QMesh or just extrude. Just try extrude, and then you can say polygroup all now that I've made that new polygroup. So just pop this guy out. And it's really nice because it comes pre-creased. And it automatically makes 2 sides, see? Awesome. Love it. But I still need to crease this one and this one. See if I hit dynamic subdivision levels right now. See how it doesn't look good right here? So I need to crease that and move it around. Okay, so let's extrude this one. I want to pull it down to be even with the other one. Let's see. But before I do that, I'm going to move this whole row back in space, because it's kind of competing. Whoops. Invert. There we go. Because it's going to create that kind of that cut in the heel, in the sole. Okay. Now we can extrude this. One more time. There we go. Now I can get in there and select these verts right there and move them forward. There we go. Then we can crease them. So still with the Zmodeler, I can use crease, edge loop partial. Just come through here and crease all these guys. I can hit dynamic subdivision. You can see what happens when I tap on these little edges. They become sharp. See that? There you go. Smooth sole. And I have a couple little warbles now that I want to work out. Like right here. Might be hard to see on your screen. It's just me being picky about it. So is anybody going to CTN this year? The CTN is the Creative Talent Network in Burbank. If you don't know what it is. I'll be down there if anybody's down there. Let me see, transparent. Look from the top down. I'm just looking to make that overhang even. You guys are just making sure chat's working. Are you guys just quiet tonight? Not much to say. Mesmerized by my skilled boot making. What's up, Squid? Yay, talking. You have to say that in a cowboy voice, right? Oh yeah, thanks, man. I got the new camera going. Yep, all my toys. I have a new toy. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. It's getting cut off. I have a Yoda that my uncle gave me that's about 2.5 feet tall. Well, he's like life size for Yoda. True scale Yoda. So now I can finish my training. I'll show you guys in a little bit. Yeah, lurking harder, hardly lurking. Alright, what? Oh, yeah. Designer Con. Rob, you should be going to CTN, man. You could hang out. Like last year. DesignerCon is also in Burbank, but it's the weekend after Comic-Con. Okay, so now we have some souls. Souls. Yeah, I think that hill needs to be wider front to back. So I picked the wrong one. That's okay. We'll just move it forward in space a bit. Whoop. Okay. Okay. Let's do that little boot tip design. That's what really makes it start to look like a cowboy boot, I think. I kind of want to box the toes off a little bit too. Make them squarish. Yeah, I went to DesignerCon last year. That was a really fun show. Oh yeah, Pasadena. That's right. I'm not too familiar with California. Just so-so. Even though I go there twice a year, still not enough. Okay. There we go. And I'm just going to do this boot design the exact same way that I did the sole. Let's see it. There's a Destiny coloring. Really? Okay, that sounds awesome. Let's see. This is pretty cool design. It's kind of like a star or something. Okay, let's see. Do the points first. Go make it ride that crease. Connect these guys. Do that line over again. There we go. Does the coloring book look good? Like, is the art in there nice? Oh yeah, nice, the Ravagers icon. Okay. Oh, you have really? Well, I'm gonna miss you, Rob. I'm gonna show you a trick to this. See how this is red? This is a triangle. And I'm gonna do the same to the other side before I do this trick. But I can just draw a line right here, and it becomes a quad. Quad. Easy. Oh, it's like Destiny fan art. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? That's cool. I'll check it out. Let's clean this up. I want more detail. Let's see. Maybe cut it like that. That works. I'd color it. Nice. I'd hit it with crayons. How did I wipe the axis line so quick? Let's go back. I'll show you. So all you do is hold down Alt and just swipe anywhere, and it just cleans it right up. Okay, you got it. I always come away from that. Whoops. That's another thing, Hairy Mandibles, is you can delete one line at a time by doing the same thing. But if I hold down Alt and I go across this line like this, let go, it will delete that line. But I don't want to do that right now. But you can. There we go. And then I can clean it up again. And then add some thickness. Actually, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it draw size 1. Tap on the surface. And sometimes, since dynamic is on, sometimes it looks like it disappears into the surface because it's just a single-sided surface. Now it's gone in there, but it's really in there. So what I want to do is grab my move brush, hold down Control and Shift, and tap on that boot. Tap on it again, so it inverts the hidden. And now you can see just the toe shape, right? Now I want that toe shape in a different subtool. So I'm going to click on Split Hidden, and it puts it in a different subtool. So it's still there. If I hit Transparent, you can see that it's in there. See that? Or I can hit Solo, and you can just see it there. Okay. Now I can use my Move brush. Let's turn on wireframes. Use my Move brush and just move these vertices into place. And I kind of want to exaggerate that star-ish shape a little more. So I'm going to pull these in and pull these out. Make sure I'm still sticking kind of on the surface. Pulling this in. I'm also trying to keep these even. See how there's this dot, there's this dot, let's see. And how this one's not in the middle. Let's pull it over into the middle. Just to keep it clean and even as I can. Let's see. Witchcraft. Let's see. And if I miss your question, just ask it again. If I'm not seeing it. Curve tools have always been one of those things where I feel like I cross into unknown territory. How to manage them in ZBrush? Yep, you'll get past it. That's the best way to do it, is just use it. You know, that's just to kind of get a good feel of what they do and how they can work for you. Is just keep playing with the curve brush. So it's the ZRemesh brush uses the curve brush technology, but not all the way. So there are brushes that actually use the curve brush, like the curve tubes and curve strap brush and things like that. And those really use the curves to your advantage. But the ZRemesh brush, or the ZRemesh, the topological brush, the topology, this one. It uses the curves, but in a different way. It just helps you create new topology with them. Oh, Mel's new book. Oh, good. So, yeah, Mel's one of my best friends of all time. Mel is amazing. And if you guys haven't seen Mel's work, you should go check it out right now. His name's Mel Milton. Maybe, Rob, maybe you can post a link in here. But he's going to be down at CTN. He's going to have a booth with Andrew Hickenbottom, and I'm trying to remember the girl's name, and then one other person. Yeah. So I'm really excited to hang out with those guys. Oh, Randy Bishop book. Yeah, man. He'll be there. He's always there. Okay. I think I am happy with this. And I like to keep this just buried underneath the surface. So if any of these are peeking out like this, I push them just underneath the surface, because I'm going to do just like I did with the sole and just extrude it out. So let's do that now and see what it looks like. Extrude polygroup all. There we go. And we're going to have to adjust that sole to encompass that boot tip to bring it in. I bought Randy's Heads book last year. It's really good. Okay, and again, it comes pre-creased, but not everything pre-creased. It creases everything on the perimeter, but it doesn't crease the interior. And I'll show you what I mean by that. See this? I want to crease. Here, let me turn dynamic subdivision on so you can see what it does. And these little orange dots, these just represent where your mesh really is, because dynamic subdivision is just a preview of what your mesh is doing. So if I hit Shift D to go back out, you can see this is the real mesh and this is the preview. So this is showing you what would happen if you actually subdivided the model. But dynamic, you can see dynamic right here. This is on my user interface, by the way. It's typically not out on the ZBrush user interface. This is my own personal one. So, and the reason I pulled that out is so I know that it's turned on or not. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, Mel is amazing. So you can see that right now it's pretty smooth, like a roller coaster. I don't want it smooth, I want it sharp, like this design that Johannes has made. So how you do that is you come in and you crease these edges. But it's easier to crease the edges when it's not in dynamic subdivision mode. So I'm going to hit Shift D, and then I'm going to come through here and just crease these little edges. And then, let's see, that's not what I want. It's actually creasing all the way around. And that's because if I hit D now, you'll see that it's kind of cool, but it's not what I want. Let's say, so I'm gonna back out of that. It's because I have crease partial, so I'm gonna hold down spacebar and turn it just to edge instead of edge loop partial. So edge loop partial was creasing it all the way around. So let's go. I just ran into Mel's brother Miles in the grocery store the other day. Miles looks and talks like Mel, but he has dreadlocks, and he's just as funny as Mel. They're hilarious. And Miles is also an artist, local artist here in Utah. Mel used to have dreadlocks a long time ago. I'll never have dreadlocks. I have no hair under here. This covers up my sunroof to my soul. Okay, so now you can see, and I want to keep this creased, even though this is not really creased here. I just like boots that have that crease around here, and then I'll smooth it and simplify it later, so it's not so sharp. But you also notice what happens on interior bends. Sometimes this will happen, where the upper and the lower are still kind of following the old non-creased roller coaster, is what's happening here. And the only way to really combat that, there's two ways. You can either crease the entire edge all the way around, which you already saw what that looked like, right? Yeah, so if you go here and here, right? But then it's creased. So then you'll have to come back in and with a polish brush or something and polish that back out. But it's easier to polish out a crease than it is to fix this mess. Sometimes. So I'll go in there and I'll just crease. It's kind of like putting a dart in a shirt. You know, you just kind of like zip it up. So I'll just crease, and I won't crease it all the way around, and you know, all the way around. So then when I actually make it, here I'll show you what happens if I actually make it real subdivisions. Let's see. Shut this off. If I make this into real subdivision levels by hitting apply, so now you'll see dynamic turns off, and then if you go under geometry, you'll see that it now has 3 subdivision levels. So I've turned the preview into an actual subdivision set, but now it looks the same. There's no difference, but now it has subdivision levels. And now I can keep increasing more subdivision levels on top of that. So I can hit Control D and add some more. And you can still see those creases that I put in there. See that? So now I can come in here with like my polish brush and just carefully polish them out. Like that. See that? Hey, Tomas. What's going on, man? Yay. What's going on, Night Shadow? How's it going? Good to have you guys. 10 days, Dave Wolf. Man, it's hopping in here now. The celebrities are showing up. Sitting there working. Nice. Always working. So, hairy mandibles, does that make sense? How to clean those up? That's essentially how you do it. But I don't want subdivision levels right now. I like to stay in dynamic subdivision mode as long as I possibly can. So when I get to the point where I want to start cleaning things up, this is how I do it. So I just kind of like jumped into the future and showed you. So I'm going to back out of that and unclean those up until, okay, right before I added the dynamic subdivision levels. Right there. Okay. Nobodies are here too. Oh, you're killing me. You're not nobodies? What's going on, Worth? Yay. Maya walk cycles. Oh man. I've been there. I've been there. I was an animator for 5 years in my career back in the day. Okay. Let's tune this and get it looking like a boot here. Yeah. That's the only time it's now become okay to say I've been following you for 5 years, right? Because it means something a little different than it used to. Oh, Max. Yeah, Max walk cycles. You know, I like to rig in Max with it's called Cat Toolkit, Character Animation Toolkit. I love to rig with that thing. But man, animating in there is horrible. The graph editor is difficult. It's difficult. Just gonna close these. There we go. Close those gaps. So Tomas, how are the streams going? He cried when you're animating. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's tough. I animated an alien face hugger once for a game for Gearbox. They were doing some alien game, and that's why it was so fun to rig inside of Max, because inside Character Animation Toolkit I could rig up a face hugger really easily with the tail and all the hand, you know, all the legs and everything. super clean. But when it came to animate that thing scrawling and hopping on a dude's face, oh my goodness, it was like pulling teeth. Horrible. How would you retopologize the mouth? So that's a good question. What I usually do is I will bring in half of a head. Like sometimes I will cut a head in half, and I will bring it into a different program that I use to retopologize in. I don't typically retopologize in ZBrush, but I'll bring it in there, and then and you can do it in like Maya or whatever. It doesn't matter. Modo, it doesn't matter. But what I'll typically do is I can hide different pieces and parts, and when I'm building my retopology going up the lip and inside the mouth, I can see inside the mouth that way because half of it's missing, and then I'll just mirror the other half and do it that way. So if that helps. Oh, Night Shadow, really? That's people are still buying that thing. I think I just sold another one today. In fact, I'm always surprised. I kind of feel bad. I want to take it down because it's a little bit outdated now. But people still like it, so thank you. All right. I want the lip or tip of the boot to curve up even more than this, because a lot of times you'll see cowboy boots, they'll be semi-flat, they'll start to go up, and at the very end they just kind of hook up, and I want to get that in there. This is pretty cool. So let's what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine these three pieces that I just made back into one subtool and edit them all together, or I can use the new I was going to say I can use the new Gizmo tools that allow you to edit subtools together, but you can't use like the brushes with that. You can only use the Gizmo to tweak that, and that'll be a little difficult. So instead, I'm just going to merge these down because they're all dynamic subdivisions. So there we go. So now they're all in one. Then I can mask this off and rotate it up a bit. Sumerian, I think you might have. I can't recall. You can go ahead and post it if you want. When I Z-remesh, what's my typical range number? It depends on the object that I'm Z-remeshing and how far I have to go, because Z-remesh, I pay more attention to the density rather than the count. And so if I don't get the density that I want when I Z-remesh, I'll typically adjust that number either higher or lower. But when I'm blocking things out, I usually start like super low, like 1 or less when I'm just doing primitives and things like that. And then as my character increases in size and I'm adding more primitives, I'll take it up to like 3, 5, and then all the way up to even 8, 10, 12, depending on how big the character is in the scene. And then after I Dynamesh and I want to Z-remesh again, that's typically a higher number, like 15-ish or so, maybe 12. It depends on the density. So, all right, let's check it out. Nice. That's awesome. Very cool, man. Nice work. Yeah, he's kind of hard to see, but I get the gist. It's cool. And you guys cannot hear music, correct? Please tell me you can't hear music. Because I am listening to music, but you do not. Yeah, in your head. worth. Oh man. Your own, yeah, even when you're sleeping, you have your own theme song. Mode factor, yes. That's what I try to do. You know, it doesn't always happen, but so I have him blocked out. I still kept the block out so you can see it. In one of the first streams I did, it was this guy. See that? Let me turn on different material. All right. So cool. I'm glad you can't hear any music. I'm listening to BT right now, if you guys are familiar with BT. He just does kind of ambient techno. It's good stuff. Anyway, it's kind of hard to just talk with silence and not have any ambient noise in the background, so yep, I'm a BT fan. Anyway, this is the block out for this guy. Then it moved to, let's see, oh, this is an early block out, then a second block out, and then moved to this. And this is Z-remeshed. So this is that block out Dynamesh, then Z-remeshed, and then Dad Techno. Leave me alone. Dad Techno. Thanks. I wouldn't even call it techno. Groove Salad. Nice. I think I have listened to that. Groove Salad. I like Cascade. That's pretty good stuff. Listen to a new young band that sounds like Led Zeppelin, like old Led Zeppelin. The dude's voice sounds just like Robert Plant. Well, not just like Robert Plant, but pretty close. And they're pretty good. I like them. And their original stuff, it's not like they do a bunch of covers of Led Zeppelin. They do their own stuff, but you can tell he was heavily influenced by Led Zeppelin. It's good stuff. I am going to make the gun. Yep. Dad step. Oh man. Dad step. Yes. Oh, thanks. It'll look better when I get this these straps on there with this ring. Constantly tweaking. They tend not to fit the ankle so much. More of straight lines. There we go. I'm looking for these changes of direction, straight lines. Let me switch back to a better. Hey, I think it was Tomas, are you still in here? What? I saw you using some crazy blue material to show off your surface details and stuff like that. What is that, a special material, or is it just one you found? What is that? I'm interested to know, because it's pretty cool. Let's see, because I typically use this one called ZBrush Gray or ZBrush Modeling, like this one, and it shows off the surface pretty well. But I'm always looking for oh, Mod Dirty Blue, huh? Mod Factor. You're about my age. I am 45. A lot of people are surprised by that, I guess, because I'm a kid at heart. But I have a 20-year-old kid. Is that crazy? And he's having a kid. You know what that means? I'm old. That's what that means. Grandpa Shane. I'm not old enough to be a grandpa. That's what. His toes peeking through. Thanks, Worth. Yep. Okay, I gotta figure out what. This is getting lumpy. Gotta clean it up. That's why my intensity is low. More intensity. For Disney Infinity, that's one factor. Yeah, thanks. That's my dad. Problems. He's grandpa, not me. Oh man. Let's see. Did I animate? No, I did not. Not for Infinity. I was senior character artist on Infinity. I animated on Warhawk when I worked at Sony. If you guys know the game Warhawk. And I animated on Advent Rising. It was Xbox title. That was fun. Missed that studio. That was a good studio. Yeah, it is really, and it kind of curves in too right here. I'm just trying to find the sweeping curves, especially where it kicks out in the back. I want to pull that whole thing over. Let's do it. Don't be afraid. Just that. His real foot underneath is getting in the way. There we go. Yeah, see that? That's hooking weird. But yeah, it just has that, right? Frenzy and I played so much GoldenEye. So much GoldenEye. I want to increase that heel size. This is too thin in the back here. It's bugging. I broke it. See, I broke it. Let's fix it. Sorry, concentrating for a second. Grandma's swollen ankles. Oh man. Swollen ankles. Grandpa water retention. I don't think I ever played Fusion Frenzy. What is that game? Is it a first person? So let's see. What did I miss? Exactly, Jay Morvan. To create the metal shoulder pad, do you use the same method for clothing? Yes, pretty much. It's pretty much, I create all my clothing this exact same way. I draw on the topology, and in the case of like these shoulder pads right here, if I don't have the geometry to draw on, I will often create it. So I'll create the shape of that geometry, and then I'll draw the topology on top, and then I'll just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and just make those. The only areas that I might not use that method is like in all these buckles, maybe the teeth, and like these bullets, you know, things that have a different kind of volume than just a thickness, you know. But like this forearm pad, I'll build that in 2 sections. I'll build out the closest to the arm piece first, and then I'll build all these little outlines and things after that. So yeah, that's good. This is pretty cool. These little, they almost look like eyeballs. These repeated shapes. Pretty cool. Okay. Yep, Topology Brush. I will do, yeah, I'll do the Topology Brush. The butt. Just like Alright, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna move on from the boots now until I get the pants in place and those legs, and I'll work on that shape. It's not really, I'm not super satisfied with it right now, but I'm gonna move on. We'll come back to it. So with the pants, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to save this. He pooped himself. It's just a square butt, man. It's just square. Nothing to it. It's all good. Okay. Yep. Naked cowboy. I need to get the wide crotch too. Andy wide crotch. Okay, let's duplicate this guy. Did I already duplicate him? No. Okay. Hide the original. My keyboard tray is squeaking. Sorry about that. Squeaking. Then I'll just kind of try and find his waistband where I think it might be. To pull the shapes into your base mesh from primitives, did you use Dynamesh and then ZBrush? Yes, that's exactly what I did. Let's see. Because I kind of want him a little bit low-waisted. That sounds low-waisted, whatever that means. Okay, auto groups. That's a look at his head. Where did that come from? I guess it was still in here. It looks like he's trying to I don't know what's going on with that. Looks like a mascot with some weird head on. Okay. Anyway, bobblehead. Hey, what's up, Tatara? So basically what I did was I hid a loop and then hit auto groups, and it will actually group the top and the bottom because there's a space now, and it will group this other loop in here too. This head is just left over from my block out. I don't know why. Sometimes things you delete hidden, sometimes they'll come back. If you hit Control-Z too far, like before you deleted it, it'll come back. So that's where that's from. Anyway, I don't want that, and I don't want the upper torso. So I'm going to hide everything except for the pants. And now we'll do another delete hidden. Hit mascot. Exactly. Straighten out that waistband. Okay. Now we can just start shaping this thing to be more like pants and less like naked cowboy guy. And it just essentially, when you do that, you just kind of remove some of the anatomy and smooth it out a bit. That's all. To make the flow kind of go down. See how it just kind of flows through the knee instead of, you know, cuts in. And also he's got these knee pads and the chaps and all that stuff. So yeah, he is. And so all of that'll be covering this up. So I'm kind of looking for just a more of a smooth base underneath, just to kind of get rid of some of this stuff. Create more of a straight flow through there. Shaps, I don't know what you call them. Shappy. This is kind of bugging me. Okay. These caps might prove to be too large now too. Just kind of evening them out. And a lot of this you will change once you start to pose. That's why I always recommend posing as soon as you can. So after I get him, the majority of him built, I'll usually typically push him into a pose, so then I can start figuring stuff out there too. That'll change some things. Okay. I want to give him this squared off crotch. And I'm gonna, but before I do that, I'm gonna increase the volume of the whole thing. And the way you do that is, see how it says Control to inflate on this yellow square. So if I hold down Control, I just want to make these a little bit bigger. And you can see it's starting to inflate through these boots down here. So I'm actually going to mask that off. So I don't want to inflate his feet, just the legs. Let's try that one more time. Okay. Still sticking through there, but okay. I like the idea of the boots like sticking off farther than this. I mean, the shaps are kind of going in there, but we'll see how that works out. It's kind of a puzzle as you build it, you know. I was just trying to put a slight crease on that change of direction right there. Sometimes it's too much. There we go. It was a little too high. I want this a lot thinner. You know what? This is distracting me, so I'm just going to cut it off. Whoops. Try it again. There we go. I just want these toes thinner, but now I'm ruining this right here. Gotta be careful. Yeah, then it starts to jack up the shapes. Okay. See, I keep noodling them. I'm going to noodle with them all night. I got to move on. Moving on. Okay. So let's get Mr. Square Crotch going on. It's kind of tricky because the flow right now is going up and over his hip, and that makes for good animation and good deformation. But if I pull this down too far, it's weird. So you just got to be careful. If it doesn't work out, I'll just roll it back. Okay. Delete hidden on that. I'm just going to delete the feet since they're in there now. Let's see. too much. And then you can come back here instead of gotta use some spackle, smooth that out. This fill brush. You can also fill this area in. It's too much. There we go. This is just clay tubes. Clay tubes doesn't work too well on Dynameshed, or not Dynameshed, dynamic subdivisions because the geometry is so low. You guys having network errors? It's still yeah, it's still streaming for me. I don't know. Sorry about that. You can try restarting Twitch or restarting your machine or something like that. Okay. Good with those pants. Pants. Then go back to this. And you can see what it was before and what it is now. And it's still kind of super tight. Yeah, so but you always have to think about, if you're making a game character, will this guy ever take his coat off? Will it ever blow up in the breeze? Are you going to ever see it ever? Who knows? But it's better to have it, you know, to just spend a little bit of time and have it in there than to just ignore it and have it look like ass. But, sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyway, it's better to have it than not. Okay, let's see. Now I want to delete his legs off of the torso. But I want to keep this. It's always better to like keep something in reserve in case you need to go back. So I'm going to duplicate it again. That's kind of my, every time I make a new piece of armor or something, I always duplicate and then make it off that. Build it off of that. So, alright, here we go. Whoops. Buttlish. That just reminds me of Rick and Morty. I'm not going to repeat it. Oh, let's see, delete hidden. Okay, there we go, torso. And then so his, I'm going to look at the colored version again, because it's a little more telling as far as what is happening in the shirt area. I like to model off of the drawing because it's almost like looking at a blueprint for a house. If you're looking at a finished painted piece, artists will typically paint over the top of the construction lines. But me, since I'm constructing him, it's better to have the construction lines there so I can see what was in the concept artist's mind when he was building this. So sometimes though, when there's so many overlapping parts and it's all the same monotone colors, it's hard to differentiate what is what. So I want to go in there and just kind of check it out. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to open it up right here. So, whoa, hello. You didn't see nothing. No, that was from that Jessica Rabbit I was doing. I still need to finish her, but so yeah, it looks like this is kind of a, like I said, a collared shirt, and then I don't know if it's like a double vested or double breasted vest thing, or what's going on with that. Iron ring ting. I see that again. Oh, I don't know where it is. Let's see. I was trying to zoom in, but what the crap? What is this? All right. Anyway. Okay, let's go. Put it up here. Yes, a touch of steampunk. That is exactly right. I actually have this really cool Pinterest page with tons and tons of steampunk reference that I've collected for a while. Okay. Since his neck plunges down into this V here, I'm going to use this geometry to pull it down, and that will become, you know, this whole neck piece. His traps are a little too overpowering right now. Need to tone those down. Oh, look at that neck. What's going on? Sometimes you just get working, you know, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, what happened with that? Okay. Better. It's not better. And that'll be covered by the collar, but I still want to have it there. Okay. So I want to build the white shirt first with the collar, because it's the closest thing to his skin, and then I can layer pieces on top, kind of like I did with the boots. And I will continue layering this stuff all in the pants, but I kind of like to build everything close to the surface first and build it all out together. Not just, I'm just going to work on the pants and then I'm going to work on this and then that. I kind of just build it up all over the place that way. So okay, it's weird. There's like a 2-second delay, so watching me do the actions that I just did is kind of funny. It's weird. It's a trip. It's like hearing yourself talk. I don't sound like that. I don't look like that. Okay. And also, every time before I start a new piece, I always like to save it too. The agents. Yep, they're going to be at my door. Okay. So I'm going to build this on this piece, but it's pretty cool with this topological brush. I can draw over multiple subtools. I don't have to have everything in one subtool. So I have this torso active, but you can see I can draw all the way onto this other subtool up here it's showing, but it's not active. So I can come in here and just I'll build this in 2 parts. I'll build this this cuff, like with missing this outer piece, and I'll build that separate. So, and a lot of people will extrude it, you know, like build the faces and then extrude it and bring it down. And I find that that's just more of a hassle. It takes more time to do, and you just kind of fight it, and it just works out better if I just build it separate and put it on there, and then either sew it together or don't. I'll just leave it, you know. So what are my brush settings? On which brush? What are you talking about? Are you still are you going on about oh, it sticks perfectly to my meshes? Yeah, that's just this topological brush right here. So sorry if I'm not understanding if I'm not picking up what you're throwing down. Let's see. Yeah, this one just ships with ZBrush. It's just topology, and this is how I build. Like if I'm going to build this shirt, and I'm not going to build it the entire shirt all the way down to here, even though you can kind of see the same shirt sticking out through here. I'll probably build that in a separate piece, not together as one. So it's like those partial sweaters that you what they call dickies, I think. Anyway, that they don't go all the way down, because you only need to build what you see, right? So I'll build it down to about right here. A neck dickie. Right? They still make those things? Yep, exactly. Because all I want to do eventually is bake the maps and transfer the maps, and the less high resolution that I have to bake onto the low resolution, the better. And if you're not going to see it, there's no reason to build it. After I just got done talking about the not seeing the butt, it's just kind of it's up to your discretion, I guess, you know, because there is possibility you might see the butt if the coat flies up when he's running or something like that. But there's really not a possibility unless he's going to take the vest off in some cinematic or something where you have to build it. But there's a good chance you're most likely not going to see that. So, okay. Well, that wasn't a good line. And it's only going to be up to about right here. The bot. Do you say that to all the ladies? Oh, sorry. Pixelogic's gonna fire me. No more of your jokes. Now it becomes a puzzle. Let's see. It keeps popping over here. Let me make it smaller. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't like to connect and you have to erase it and do it again. Like that. See, I have a 5 and this is kind of a mess. There we go. It's better to continue a line than to meet it, to start and go. That's that's a fun line. Anyway, I only need it to like here. Okay. I am going to take this all the way around, I think. At least to there. Okay, let's clean that up. And this one I can add thickness if I want. Just kind of adjust the brush size and then just tap on the surface. It'll make that surface. And this is dynamic subdivision levels when it's like that. That's why it looks like it's high res, but it's not. Okay, then I want to split. So I can do a split unmasked points, and that'll split that off. So then I just have this shirt. Come on, select it. There we go. I want to uncrease this and then recrease it. So we have this piece, and I want to crease all these edges, because if I hit D it looks like this, and that's not what I want. And what I can do is I can manually go in there and crease all these edges, or I can say crease polygroup, and it'll put a crease around the entire perimeter on both top and bottom, but not the corners. So another thing I can do is say you can do group binormals and try that. And when it does that, depending on your settings, and that's under, let's see, grouping, polygroups, group binormals. See this max angle tolerance? That means anything less than, hey, it's Boyd Lake. What's going on, Boyd? Anything less than 45 degrees, it's going to it's going to put into a polygroup like this. Now, if I do crease polygroups, now it'll put them on the edge, so I don't, or on the corners, so I don't have to manually go in there and put one on every single corner. Looks like I have some overlapping business right here. To fix that, I can go mirror and weld, then delete these points. Let's see. What's going on, Boyd? How you been? Haven't seen you forever. Let's see. I'll pull these to one side. Oh, wrong side. Other side. Mirror and weld. Fixed. Hey, what's up from Brazil? Thank you. We're still really early in the modeling process. Just hanging. still in AZ. Okay. Now when I hit dynamic subdivisions, check that out, looks much cleaner. Now we can come in here, just kind of raise it off the surface. Oh, you're in Texas? Really? Eric, yes. I never want to go back to those days. It's funny because Boyd, I've known Boyd for a long time, and we were kind of box modelers back in the day, exactly how you're describing. And yeah, I don't really want to do it that way anymore. So I haven't really done box modeling for years, like 5 years maybe. On occasionally, like, you know, sometimes I'll use Zmodeler right here because that's about the closest thing to box modeling in ZBrush, but I like to stay in ZBrush as long as I can, if I can. So, and what were you saying? Modifactor, thickness, crease, mostly will. Right. Yeah, 3D Studio Max? Yeah. Yeah, I learned on 3D Studio Max, and then I also learned how to box model in Maya, and I use Nendo. If you guys ever remember Nendo and Mirai, I use those. Did you ever use Mirai, Boyd? Okay, this comes out from his neck, and I'm gonna crease. Let me see. Okay, I gotta focus for a minute here. So I want to crease this. And then I got to push it up against his neck, but not in Dynamesh mode or dynamic mode. And what I'm going to do too is, since I know I'm going to be doing a lot of editing on this, I'm going to actually delete the back side and just edit this front side. So I'm going to hide everything that is not this front side. Hit delete hidden. This is the beauty of working this way, is you can come in here and delete the thickness and just work on one, like a single-sided face. Let's see, it comes down, but then it wraps up around his neck. Boyd, what are you doing in Texas, man? Are you at BioWare? You don't have to say if you don't want to. Oh, I love Silo. I love Silo. If I had to still box model, I would use Silo. It's still a better modeler than Maya. Yep, you heard me say it. I box modeled in Silo for years. Freelancing? Nice. Yep, Mirai. I love that program. Yes. Even moving these points, I'm not using a mouse, I'm using a pen. So even though I'm still point pushing, I'm not point pushing with a mouse, which just kills creativity, you know. This feels more like pushing clay around or something like that. It's just a little better. I'm looking for this, see this sweeping curve right here? I'm trying to get that. Use Lightwave. Lightwave's not bad for modeling. Actually, I used it a little bit. All right. I'm so glad there have been no, knock on wood, no crashes tonight. Last week was not fun with the crashes. Sorry about that. Oh, Modo? Yeah, my good friend Steve James uses Modo. Do you know Steve James, Boyd? Yeah, Steve is a big Modo guy. My other friend Barry Zundel. He worked for Pixar for a while and Nike for a while. He's a huge moto guy. Okay, just evening this stuff out. Let's see what it looks like smoothed. Okay. So right now, if I wanted to, I could pull the collar off of here and pull it down. I might, but I might just duplicate this. Try and decide how I want to do it. I want to decrease or uncrease that. Oh yeah, yep, Steve James. He's very kind of like by the script. And by the way, if any of you guys want these brushes right here or this user interface, I have it on my website. It's 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Go there and get these brushes and this user interface for free. And I also have this ruler in this file. It's to help you go back and forth between programs like Maya and 3D Studio Max. So this ruler is 2 meters tall, or 20 centimeters, or 200 millimeters, depending on how you use the ruler. So it depends on, you know, if you're going to 3D print or go back and forth between Maya or something like that. But that also comes with this user interface. And there's some videos on my website, and I teach you how to load them up and use them. So yeah, I'll pop that address in there. There you go. If you wants them. All right, let's hide that ruler. Okay, for this collar, I think I'm just going to duplicate what I have and then keep these. It's going to be welded right there. I'll have to fix that. But delete hidden. So now I have this collar. Okay, let's see. Split. I think split does it. Or I can just go like this, hide, whoop, gotta turn symmetry off, hide it, delete it, and then pull it over away from the center. I gotta mirror it first and then mirror and weld. There we go. So sometimes there are semi-backward ways of doing things in here. Whoops. But you can pretty much do everything you want. You just have to think a little bit differently occasionally. All right, mirror and weld one more time. There we go. Okay. Yep. That's another thing is if you ever get lost, just kind of mirror and weld and it'll fix your problems most of the time. And I'm still editing a single-sided surface, but you can see I don't have to deal with, you know, the bend or the overlap up in this area. I just choose not to deal with it. And I can weld it together if I want to later or not, or it just depends on what I need to be doing with it in the end. If I'm just going to be stitching it together or baking maps with it, I'll just leave it separate. and also it should respect creased edges, but it won't, since there's not thickness and it doesn't have a creased edge to hold that thickness. It's going to make curved ends. So I'm going to add some thickness to this thing. Yeah, collars. Tell me about it. Hate them. Sometimes. Okay, so after I extrude this, now I can come in here. Well, I can either do that trick where you do the group by normals, crease polygroups. See, now the edges are held. And so now it's got thickness. So to answer your question, model factor, yes, I'm adding thickness. And I will add thickness to the undershirt or this shirt as well. So I can either extrude it out or push it in to add thickness this way. But you'll notice it starts to give me those problems again in these areas. Just like it did on the boot, if you were here earlier. Like those points on the boot. I had to crease these leading areas, and then I'll go back in later and clean up those creased areas when I actually subdivide it for real. Okay. So I'm going to solo this. Actually add some. This is a little bit tricky in here because this poly is getting stretched so far. And then I'm going to crease this down in here. And I can also crease this leading edge right here. And it doesn't matter how far down you go, you just have to remember to come clean it up after, because it'll have this crease right here, but it'll help this hold its crease. Otherwise, it will look like this, and see these polys will try to bunch up in that corner right there, and you'll get kind of this stretched material looking feeling right here. So if you add a crease, it's going to pull that material away and even those polygons out, and it just makes it easier to clean up later. Let's see. Hey, A Cubed, what's going on? Yay! Ashley in the house. Ashley's another streamer here on Pixelogic channel. Should give her a follow and check out her stuff. It's awesome. How you been? Yeah, cleanup is flatten and polish. I usually use just polish and just go over that crease just lightly after I've subdivided, and it works out really nice. It's much easier to clean that than it is to clean up that bunched up geometry on the edge. Been very busy? Have you been streaming much? I don't think I've been seeing you too much lately. So let's see, I'm wanting fun to work flow in ZBrush to create assets for the architectural world I work in their residential design. Yeah, ZBrush, you can use ZBrush for architectural stuff. I think you could use it for props better than like buildings and stuff. I know that there are several people that actually build buildings and things with ZBrush. It's just not as common. So I don't know where to really send you as far as training on that stuff. There are some things in the Z classrooms. I think there might be a link down below to Z classrooms, but if anybody knows of any tutorials on modeling architectural stuff inside of ZBrush, please post it in the chat. Oh, you're going to come back to it? Awesome. And I've been well, thanks. Doing good. Okay, so let's check out this, how this is looking. Super sharp, I know. But that's another thing I'll do typically is I'll come in here and after I've subdivided it for real is I will de-sharpen these edges. So in fact I'm gonna unsharpen this top edge so it actually rolls. Oh, my shelf. Yeah, this is all the Disney Infinity figures. I actually have a different camera now, so you can see them more. But yeah, there's a lot. Let's see. Zmodeler, absolute partial, and I'm going to uncrease that. There we go. See, now we have it rolling over the top and not so crisp. But I have the other piece kind of poking through. I need to pull that down. Oh, thanks, Arok. I have a webcam right here, and I want to hang it from my microphone stand eventually, so you can actually kind of get an overhead view. Because I have a switcher now that I can switch to full screen and switch back again. And I want to be able to switch to an overhead cam. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, anyway, good times. I'm trying to get better, higher production value. It's fun to mess around with that stuff. All right, I'm just trying to connect these guys right here. So you can fake connect them. They look connected, but they're not. Nobody needs to know but us. Oh, thanks. I have a ring light right here that's given me this rim light. And eventually I'll have a better microphone setup, because I know you guys can sometimes hear me touching my microphone cable, and I want to get away from that, and I want to get away from wearing these big headphones. I have microphone here, but I just don't have it tuned yet. I'm still working on it. It's coming. Because I do a lot of tutorials. I have a course, and I like to increase my production value on my course. So that's all part of that too. De-sharpen. There we go. So there we go. There's his little shirt that's just going to be showing right there. And then I'll just keep building up, and you know, like the next level would be this vest on top of this, you know, and the next thing and the next thing. And I don't I might delete the back side of this because I don't need all this information back here. So let's do that. Let's do that really quick. But I do want the inside of the collar up here. So I'm going to change that poly group really quick. Let's see. Let's hide this. I just leave them separate. Just keep the butt. That's all you need. Okay, poly group, single poly. Whoa. Come on. It's grabbing the front. I don't want the front. That. Okay. Now we have, I just want to delete the green, this one. Delete hidden. There we go. That's just less I have to deal with. And then I can also delete this outer ring right here. don't think it goes all the way up. Okay. Let me solo it just to make sure I'm not deleting anything I don't want, or anything I want to keep. Just that little guy. Okay. Now it seems more like a single-sided guy that I can move this around to fit him better without worrying about the other side. It's just a little easier. And also that helps with baking maps, because map baking is based on an envelope. And if you get a double-sided material, like a shirt or something like that, and you're trying to bake it into a single-sided volume, sometimes it will grab the back of the shirt and project it, or the volume won't grab it, and you'll just get some weird artifacting. You don't know why. So sometimes it's just easier to have single-sided things like this. My keyboard's squeaking. Stop squeaking. All right. So looks like that's how far we got tonight. He looks like some kind of a butler guy. Something. So we got the boots, the pants, and the shirt dicky thing. All right, thanks for stopping by. Anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. I'm wrapping this up. Like I stream for 2 hours now, so I don't get exhausted. Anyway, I'll be continuing this next Tuesday. We'll be back same time, same channel. Thanks for joining me tonight. If like I said, if you want this user interface, you can go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com. What's up, Chris? And grab my brushes, my user interface, and this ruler file to start with, to help you bring your characters back and forth between programs like Marvelous Designer and Maya, things like that. So if anybody has any questions, yeah, come back next week and ask me some questions. I'm always up for it. And hopefully we'll move on some more. I can't wait to get this guy further along, get that big old hat and stuff on him. So yep, thanks everybody. Thanks for dropping by. It's awesome. I love streaming on this channel. It's so fun. My eyes are getting dry. So take care, guys. Have a good one. Thanksgiving's coming up. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later. I think we got 92 people in here. That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, especially if you're from the other side of the world where it's like 4 in the morning and 6 in the morning, and you know, it's crazy, and I appreciate it much. Anyway, yep, thanks. Take care, everybody, and we'll catch you next week. See ya.